What's going on, everybody? Travis with RAC Garage, and in this video we are installing the Old Yankee Speed Co. AV8 e-brake kit. This thing is the balls. It is everything you need in one kit. If you have their AV8 mount kit, it bolts right in. If you don't, probably bolts right in. So you need to get this kit, hook up your e-brake, no more throwing it in gear, risking it popping out and rolling down a hill. So join me and Kelly while we install this thing and show you how to do it. Alright, so don't mind my workspace. It is my tailgate, and it's kind of crooked. Okay, Old Yankee Speed Co. hot rod parts sticker, awesome. So here are the instructions. It is small because it is that easy. Let's go over all the parts. So we got cross member cable mount right here. We got a sleeved primary cable right here. Nice. Braided secondary cables, or it's one cable. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's just one. It's one. Okay. All right. Also got the Model A drive shaft bracket right here, cable distribution block, cable spring clip, and we got my primary cable nuts and distribution block nuts, I think. Something like that. I know I got everything here. Not sure which ones are what, but we'll get into that. Alright, so now we're getting ready to install the Old Yankee Speed Co. emergency brake cable kit for Model A's and early hot rods. First thing, you need to mount your e-brake. I don't know if this is obvious, but for those who don't know, you gotta mount it. And if you don't have it, Old Yankee Speed Co. also sells this, or it's a Millworks product, I'm not too sure, but it's on the Millworks website to mount your e-brake handle to the transmission. Next, you would have to mount this piece right here to your cross member that I cut out. So I had to make something, and I believe I'm working with Millworks and Old Yankee to produce this piece here. This is this bracket to hold the cable, but to work with an F1 cross member. But the cable will slide in it just like it will with this. So let's do that now. Alright, putting the cable in. Pull that? Yeah. The cable slides in there. Go underneath the e-brake. All the way down on the cable. Yep. Yeah, then you gotta put that, yep, right in there. And then we're gonna get the pin that pops in. Alright, so now you slip the pin in.
There we go.
Okay, and the clip goes on the back. I don't know if you can see that going on. And so next, we have this little clip here that holds the front of that cable to the bracket. Usually to the bracket they supply, but since I have an F1 cross member, it's to the bracket I made. So it holds it there. Clip goes on the other side in a groove.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I can do it. Just grab a little screwdriver. You're probably gonna need this. So it's pretty easy. It just slides into the groove on that cable there, and I just take a flathead screwdriver, press it in. It just tends to work better. So there it is. It's locked in place, not going anywhere. Now we work on the second bracket for the other side, this side. So let's go underneath the car, and we'll do that now. Alright, so next up we are underneath. Sorry for the flashes of light. This is the bracket that they supply to either weld to your torque tube like I did, or drill and tap the torque tube and use a 1/2 inch length bolt to secure it. I decided to weld it on because they tell you to drill and tap it at a point of the torque tube where it gets thicker, like it tapers out and gets thicker. I think this rear end is an early 28 rear end because it does not taper significantly at a certain point. It's just a constant taper all the way back. So I couldn't really find that point. So I just took the cable, figured out where it was, and welded it where it needed to be. I think it was the easiest thing to do. But so right now we're gonna take these adjusting nuts and secure this section to the supplied bracket. So you're gonna shove that cable in the hole. There you go. Yep. Pull that other cable inside of it tight. Yep. Now, nope. That nut right there. Yep. Slip it over that. Okay. Now tighten it up. Nope. The other one. Yeah. You want to tighten the one in the front so it gives kind of some tension to the cable. Now you're going to take the two smaller nuts, thread one of them on all the way down to the end. Then we're going to thread on the distribution block, I call it, where the two rear cables, so this will split the cables into two, go to each rear wheel. So we're going to spin that on.
Looks like a Lego. That's probably enough.
Alright, that's probably good. Put this down. Okay. So now you need to take the other one, kind of screw it on the end. Doesn't have to be all the way to the block, but just kind of screw it on there. Because those two are going to lock this distribution block in place. Now, I already did these cables in here, and I'll splice in a clip of me doing that. Alright, so I snipped the cables. They are equal length now. I just took a pair of tin snips and snipped it right off. So now I'm gonna fish it this way. And when you cut it in half, don't lose these little washers. You need them. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here before it goes in, and I made these. There might be a clip here that goes here that I don't have, so I just made one. It's a washer with a notch cut out of it, kind of looks like Pac-Man. Big enough so that a washer won't go in the tube, and the hole small enough that this little washer won't go through the center hole. And then I'm just going to squish it down a bit. I'm not going to squish it all the way because I want to be able to take it off. So wrap it around here, give it a little smush with the pliers, and then that's locked in. The spring will do what it needs to do, and we'll be cooking. Okay, now it's attached. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, take these cables and shove them into the holes with the grub screws, left on the left side, right on the right. Alright, so shove that in one side. Make sure it goes out the other side. Yep, okay. And we're going to take Allen key, which is, I believe it's an 1/8 inch Allen key. You tighten those up, just snug them up for now, so if that doesn't pull out while we do the other side. Okay. Now actually, loosen up a little bit. Yeah, tighten it up right there. Because you want the distribution block to be in the center of the drive line. It just makes it look even, and it'll pull evenly on each side. So now, grab the other cable on the other side. Yep. And does the end look oblong or anything? Or is it kind of round?
Looks like round.
Okay, so try and shove it in the other side. What I'm doing here, Kelly got the lines in, so I'm trying to take the slack out. Actually, I did take the slack out. I'm gonna tighten it up right here and see how this does. Cause this is with the e-brake off, so you really don't want to pull these cables too tight, because you'll end up pulling the brake and engaging the e-brake when you really want it disengaged. But you do want some tension on it. You don't want it totally slack, because it's just not going to work. Alright, so let's go out from underneath the car. Oh, actually, you do it here. So you look above your head, Kelly. So that means we didn't engage the e-brakes, and there's still some tension here. It's not like drooped over and slackened. So let's pull the e-brake and see if it'll stop the wheels. And then that means we did it right. This distribution block, if you're not perfect like me, and the first time you tighten these down and you tighten the cable down and it's not in the right position and you can't adjust it tight enough, so you have to unscrew it and pull the cables tighter, the holes right here and right there are just big enough for that cable with the plastic sleeve, plastic coating. It's just big enough for it to go in. So once you tighten it down and crush it, you can't move it. So I just spent a half an hour ripping the cables out and drilling the plastic sleeve that was stuck inside of here out. So I re-drilled these, I think 2 sizes bigger to 3/16, and the cables not fly in there, but it's a lot better of a fit if you're accident prone like I am and mess up a lot. So you can tighten it down, loosen it up, and move the cables inside of it. Because I neglected to read the directions, and it says attach this distribution block to the last third of the threads. So when you put it on there tight, you can adjust it and this will pull back and tighten up. But I had it halfway, so when I pulled it all the way back, it still wasn't tight enough. So I'm going to thread this to the very end, tighten it down, and then suck it in. So that was my fault. The instructions tell you to do it correctly, but I just didn't. But this distribution block gives you no room to do it again easily. So if you feel like you're gonna mess up, I would just drill this out a little bit more, a little bit bigger. It's still gonna crush down on the cable, and I really don't worry about that. But you know, or if you just follow the directions and do it right the first time, you probably won't have any issues. But that's what I had to do, and let's go put this on the right way. All right, so now this is on and tight. This is on and where it's supposed to be now. So you see how I mangled up the end of this, but I tightened it. I drilled it out in a way so I can still put a semi-mangled cable through there. Obviously the part in here is not mangled, but this outside, because I was trying to pull it and push it and pry it around. I do need to tighten these Allens on the distribution block, but after I do that, everything should be nice and tight, and I can use the e-brake as an e-brake. My first ever e-brake. And this was super easy to install, like ridiculously easy. And if I had a V8 rear end and the AV8 kit that Old Yankee sells, this would literally be bolt-on. All right. Wheels spin. Moment of truth. There we go. There you go. E-brake, done. Alright, so e-brake's off. Wheel spins. I need to mess with this extension, it kind of sucks. On. Wheel does not move. So, finally, get a set of e-brakes. Look at that. Don't even need a piece of wood anymore. Just use e-brake like I'm supposed to.